Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. Already got 3 likes.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Welcome in. That's Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at HectorWall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Our producer today is Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. We got another like, so give a thumbs up button. We miss Vinny. He's telling you to give a thumbs up button. Vinny's out somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in this world. We'll be back eventually.
I also don't know where he is.
Enjoying a vacation. He told me, but I don't know if it's for my.
Oh yeah, no, he's
for me to tell anybody else.
Space Mountain.
Yeah, he's doing like a hiking trip with friends.
Yeah,
that's what a hiking trip with friends and his wife. Yeah,
friends. I said Space Mountain, and you said yes. So I thought he was in Disney.
Oh, you meant Space Mountain, the amusement park.
He is close to a mountain.
Never mind.
I don't know about Space Mountain.
Not hiking in the Everglades?
No, not in the Everglades. No.
Okay. Is it a hilly place?
Swiss Alps.
It's a very hilly place, apparently. Yeah.
Swiss Alps.
Everglades?
No, it's not
Swiss Alps.
The Everglades is not a hilly place. It's a swamp.
Anyways,
big ass swamp.
We've been doing report cards. We kind of did a Tim Anderson one yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit more about Tim Anderson today, I feel. So we're going to bring it back. We're going to be talking about Tim Anderson a lot. It's the White Sox offseason. We're also going to be grading Andrew Benintendi.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't know. What else is there to say?
I mean, I want to see the grade you gave him. I mean, I kind of know it already.
I gave him?
I know what you gave him.
Well, we're going to talk about the Rangers and their advancement to the or to the World Series, winning the ALCS, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Josh Barfield's recent comments to White Sox Talk. And shout out to Beef Loaf. I did not listen to Chuck and Josh talk. I listened to Beef Loaf. So if you are looking to avoid
on the Au-jus,
on the Au-jus, if you are looking to avoid the state media, you can go listen to Beef, who I think is completely anti-state media. I mean, that's the essence of anti-state media is the beef. All right, so let's get in to Andrew Benintendi first, because I don't like to mess around. I don't like to not jump right into the headline.
Correct.
You assume that's why people are clicking on a podcast is because of the headline. So let's jump into it. Sarah, do you have the grades? What did you send me this morning?
What, the grades that I sent out?
Yeah.
I said that he was a D offensively. Let's see, D offensively, F defensively, and then overall like a D minus.
You said D for offense, F for D, or D for offense, F for defense, and D minus overall.
Yeah. I'm
what
glad you gave him.
Was he a D
for offense?
Yeah.
I like that there's a plus sign.
I was grading him on a White Sox scale, but yes, we're just trying to say, like, the full league, how he performed as a $75 million man, even though he's only $8 million this year. I would say his performance was above failing, just above failing. He wasn't great. The 5 home runs isn't anybody's favorite thing, but yes, he was one of the worst left fielders in baseball, period. And I don't disagree with the grades that you gave him. Like, our cumulative grades come out to be the F+ because I put a D on his
What's an F plus a D? I guess an F+ or a D minus.
Still failing. And I don't disagree with failing Andrew Benintendi. He got a big boy contract, so he should perform like a big boy. And he did not.
Can I just this is the only reason he gets the grade. And I think it's the clearest thing in the world. Like, he gets an F.
Yes.
Not because of how he performs compared to the White Sox and the White Sox curve. Yes. Not compared to the rest of the league. This was his worst season in his career, and it wasn't close. It was his worst defensive season. Yes. It was his worst offensive season.
Yes.
He was the worst version of himself that he has ever been. That is the worst you have ever seen Andrew Benintendi, period. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be a rude person.
Yeah.
He was bad by every single metric that he's ever set for himself. Compare him to the last regular left fielder who's now currently playing first base. Why was that guy ever playing left field? It's because the stupid decision to sign the guy to $75 million contract and to put the first baseman in left field for 2 straight years and to put the DH in left field too. I mean, it just seems like maybe left field's cursed.
It is. Well, it's cursed because you don't have a good scouting department, and maybe Gene Watson, who was brought over from the Royals, will help that out. Probably not. But, Dan, thank you for coming over and said what's up, and everybody else in the comments, too. But I think that Andrew Benintendi, I had high hopes for, and, of course, I bet you that he would hit 10 home runs by the end of the year. He went half of that because he's not good at baseball this year. It was just so disappointing. I looked up the stats, and I was expecting to see something better than what he actually was. From people who are qualified to play left field, getting their representative amount of at-bats, he is the absolute worst left fielder in the American League. I think only like Brian De La Cruz is worse than him.
He had more than 5 home runs.
Yeah, in the league. So, like a 0. Like he was replacement level in F4. 0. That is hella bad. And you're paying him for 4 more years. More than these 4 more years. He'll be paid a lot more than he got paid this year. So, yeah, he failed miserably this year, and it's sad to see. Now, you can say it positive. You said it's the worst stats that he's ever had in his career. Can only go up, right?
Well, the age doesn't go up. I mean, like, is he gonna be like 26 again?
He's still in his prime. If you go by the 27 to 31.
Yeah, but that's just like a commonality. I mean, is LeBron James out of his prime?
Yes.
I mean, okay, but like when did that man's prime didn't end at 31?
Oh, yeah, his prime. Yeah, his prime extends forever.
Started when he was 20 and it ended when he was 37.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so sometimes you're just a different athlete. And I don't know. Was Andrew Benintendi ever a world-class athlete? He was a very good athlete with great hand-eye coordination, and I think that his athleticism has completely fallen off the table.
Yeah, and we got the news that he had been still dealing with hand soreness, and from his off-season surgery to repair his hamate bone from last year. Mm-hmm. And so my question is to the White Sox and the 2 people who are now gone, Ken Williams and Rick Hahn, is why you sign a person that was hurt. Like, he ended the year hurt, did not play for the Yankees in the playoffs. And then you're first out to jump and get that man. And then he admits during the season that, oh, yeah, that didn't heal properly, and I'm still dealing with it throughout the season. I'm looking for an off season where I'm just healthy. It's like, yeah, how about you do the Michael Conforto thing, take off a year, and then come back healthy instead of coming back and then the White Sox jumping out and getting you and signing you to the richest contract they've ever put out. That's the thing. After I heard that, I was like,
strategy for him.
I was like, oh, no, for him, it worked out swimmingly.
Great idea.
But I know it might be that monkey paw thing. Man, he's like, yeah, I would love to get a big-time deal. But then that big-time deal goes to the White Sox, so he has to do, like, all this hard time, and it doesn't feel like he's actually making $75 million. It feels like purgatory.
And then the next time he wishes, it's like, I would love to play over 150 games. And it's like, oh, I play over 150 games, but I suck. No, I suck. Next time he's going to wish, he's going to be like, oh, I wish the White Sox win the World Series. And then he's going to get, like, off the team. Like, he'll be the Frank Thomas of the 2005 team. I mean, again, you look at those guys and you're asking, like, why did they sign him if they thought that he was injured or still recovering from that hamate bone and giving him the world's largest contract? It's because, A, they couldn't close a deal. I mean, you look back, and if they did have the opportunity to spend on superstars like Manny Machado and Bryce Harper and had meetings with them, and, again, we're just held back by $25 million reportedly for Machado and then just never made an offer to Harper, period.
Yeah.
You just wonder how good of those guys are at closing those deals. Zach Wheeler apparently was offered enough money, you just couldn't close that deal.
And I want to say something about that before you go on. I know people give Rick and Kenny the pass because Zach Wheeler's wife lives close there. She lives was born and raised like in New Jersey, was close to Philadelphia. And so, yeah, I get that. But also offer more money. $1 more million when we're talking about 125 is not that much more money. offer $25 more million and see if she wants to live in Philadelphia that bad. Right. Maybe she doesn't want to live in Philadelphia that bad. And also, if you look at the tax between Illinois and Pennsylvania, that contract, that $1 million more you offered, is negligible because the taxes are slightly lower in Pennsylvania than they are in Illinois. So, yes, you offered more, but did you really offer more? No. You offered the same amount, and she chose the better situation in Philadelphia.
Paid off. Well, actually, we'll see.
I mean, it paid off already. They've already gone to the World Series once. They might go tonight for the second time in a row.
No. I've seen a lot of narrative out there that if you don't go to the World Series, you suck.
Your season's over. Yeah. Everything's bad.
My favorite, and we'll get to the Astros in a little bit, but I can't even hold this back. Did you see the one guy that was like, the Rangers had to spend $500 million to beat the Astros? Like, LOL. It's like, you should be ashamed. Are you proud of yourself? It's like, yeah, yes. They spent money.
The Rangers have only been to the World Series, what, once?
They've never won it.
Never won it, yeah. It's worth it. Ask any Rangers fan today if it's worth it that they spent all that money. And I know Slavko has gotten dunked on all day long for his tweet he did last year, but he came out like a real true gentleman and took his L.
True gentleman.
Retweeted it. He's kept that tweet up. Hey, if that was me and I kept on getting dunked on continuously by both Chicagoans and Texans, I would have maybe delete my account altogether. But he kept it up, and today he said, hey, man, I'll take my L. Congratulations to the Rangers. I was like, hey, man, tip to the cap of Slavko, because that's got to be a tough go on Twitter where you're just getting dunked on constantly. But he said that, the $556 million on John Gray and Simeon and Seager, would you want that? Hell, at the time, I was like, hell yes, give me that. And if it doesn't work out, the last person I'm going to be blaming is the general manager. That's why A.J. Preller still got a job in San Diego, because they went out and tried to do it. Didn't work out. He's still working. I don't know what the hell they're doing with the manager now, but, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, that guy seems Hanish at this point. I mean,
A.J. Preller?
Yeah, I saw something about a Padres fan saying that he's now in his 9th season. He's never had a 90-win season.
Nope.
You just bring in Bob Melvin, a guy that I would have loved, a guy that the Giants would have loved, apparently.
Now he's just gone.
Yeah, and they in the division.
Yes. So, and they're just like, no, we're fine with that.
Yeah, I know.
Because they're trying to get some hotshot guy. I forgot who they had. There's some guy already in their clubhouse they're trying to get. I forgot who it was, the name, but I would not leave Bob Melvin go in division, because we've seen Bob Melvin take teams, that San Diego team last year, to places that they shouldn't have been in the NLCS last year.
I mean, again, I'm still a proponent of managers don't matter. I think that, managers don't matter unless they're horrifically bad at their job and don't actually say anything. I mean, I have not been able to glean what Pedro Grifol does. So I guess that manager matters, because you could just see how bad that team fell off from 2022 to 2023, and partly on the players as well. But anyways, I feel like we're getting off. Benintendi.
Yep.
We're stuck with him.
Yes.
And
forever.
I hope you could clip this now. You could mark it down. I hope he's better. But I don't know if it's a good sign, because you told me when you paid out the bill, or paid out the bet.
Yeah.
I was going to Vegas.
Yep.
That I should go bet.
Invest it if you want. Yes.
Should go put it on. I put it on roulette. Put it on 23. Because of you, but then also numbers Benintendi were.
Yes, 23.
23. And I put it on 5 because he had 5 home runs. And that paid out the bet. And we lost that money.
Both of them.
So, yeah, there you go. So I won $100. And then I threw it away.
You threw it away.
So I don't know if that's a good sign.
So you are Andrew Benintendi, apparently.
I don't know if that's a good sign for Benintendi's future. All right, so one part I want to focus on here is the defense. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the Baltimore Orioles, the Texas Rangers all lost 100 games in 2021. All 3 of those teams made it to the playoffs this year within 2 years. Now, to be fair, the Pirates also lost 101 games or 100 games in that season, and they did not make it to the playoffs this year. You could also look at the I think it's no, that's it. Okay, so not every team that lost 100 games made it to the playoffs, like the Pittsburgh Pirates. But you're stuck with Benintendi.
Yeah.
5 years. You have 4 more left. One thing that we have seen from at least the Rangers and Arizona is an improvement defensively. And we also see Josh Barfield be hired over as the minor league coordinator from the Diamondbacks, now a part of the White Sox front office. So what I'm trying to look at, and I was talking to our guy Jim, is can the White Sox actually be competitive in 2024? What does that mean? And they have been avoiding the word rebuild, retool. I like the word revamp. They still won't use it. Like, how does this team go from 101 losses this year to something that is actually watchable in 2 years? It seems like Josh Barfield, who recently talked on the White Sox Talk podcast, brought up defense. In right field, he mentioned you usually look for a banger, a guy that's going to provide a lot of offensive pop, but how they can immediately help the team, immediately help the pitching is run prevention.
Yes.
You look at what these teams have done. Sorry, trying to piece this all together. What you look at what these teams have done, Arizona, 2021 went from negative 13 outs above average in 2022 to 44 outs above average in 2023 to 32 outs above average. You look at Texas, 2021, 27 outs above average, 2022, negative 5 outs above average, 2023, 28 outs above average. Now you can kind of see that maybe defense wasn't their problem, and that's why they spent like $500 million on pitching.
Yes.
Smart idea. And Baltimore, couple different things. Their pitching got a lot better. Their defense got a lot better. They went from negative 29 outs above average to 3 outs above average, back down to negative 17 outs above average. But they also completely changed their stadium.
Yes.
And made it impossible for Aaron Judge to hit homers out of it. So they also run prevented by construction. The point that I'm trying to make is the Sox went from negative 7 outs above average to negative 17 to negative 17, and with each year, their pitching got progressively worse.
Yeah.
I think, especially building off the conversation that we had yesterday about Tim Anderson and what the option is going to be like for him, I think that it's really all about how they turn the defense around and how Brian Bannister can excel that pitching. But it's also like you got to look at what the pieces are going to be there. In center field, Robert, 12 fielding runs value. Moncada this year, -1 fielding runs value. Vaughn, -5 fielding run value at first base. And Benintendi, -14 fielding run value in left field. So you can just kind of see, like, there's one guy that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And maybe Robert's greatness negates Benintendi's horribleness in left field. Can the White Sox actually contend with Robert, Moncada, Vaughn, and Benintendi for sure being on this team in 2024 because of their defense? I don't know if that makes any sense. I kind of rambled there for a bit.
Yeah, no problem. And I know that Andrew Benintendi has a Gold Glove, but I think he has a Gold Glove like Rafael Palmeiro has a Gold Glove. It's not earned. Just he played left field and for the Royals. Like, oh, is that Alex Gordon out there? No, it's Andrew Benintendi. All right, here's a Gold Glove. Only 2 of those people are known for their gloves specifically. Luis Robert, who has won a Gold Glove and earned it.
Might win another. And
Yoan Moncada, who we say he always brings a glove, even though the numbers and the metrics as of late haven't backed up those statements. But the eye test tells you that Yoan Moncada is a pretty decent third baseman. Now the other 2 I don't think can get better. Incrementally, yes, but not like they're going from -14 fielding runs value for Andrew Benintendi to a positive runs value. Maybe he can shave off a couple of those negative things and make it like -5. All right, and same thing with Vaughn. But they weren't brought to the major leagues. They didn't win the Golden Spikes Awards, either Benintendi or Vaughn, because they can field. They are brought here because they can hit. And if they did hit, we wouldn't look at those numbers. So I know what you're saying, and that's a good thing that those 3 teams went from 101 losses to the playoffs, and now we're seeing Texas in the World Series. But I think 2 of those guys can be a defensive stalwarts, the first 2 guys I named. The other 2 guys will be bad at defense, and I'll put those in quotes, and they will be judged on what they do with their bat, strictly with their bat. I don't think we saw many plays with Andrew Benintendi where we're like, man, he is a terrible left fielder. There's a couple that dropped in there, but there was never like, man, he looks like Andrew Vaughn out there, even though the numbers might say they were pretty equal.
I hear your point. I don't know how important, like, I don't know if we could just write off how bad Benintendi and Vaughn were in the outfield.
Yeah.
Because you look at Texas' outfield, Evan Carter and Travis Jankowski were 4 fielding run value in left field. Leody Taveras was 7 fielding run value in center field. Garcia was an 8 fielding run value in right field. The White Sox, again, have that in center field. But, like, I don't know how much of a negative Benintendi, like, will be again, I guess. But I also don't understand, like, how his wrist hurt him. Yeah. Like,
that's what. Yeah.
That's why I just
how
think
he gets better.
That's why I'm just worried that he's just gonna be like horrible.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how steep of a hill Josh Barfield and Chris Getz are climbing up right now, because you do have this just albatross of a contract in Benintendi, whether it's the worst contract ever, whether it's worse than Grandal or Adam Dunn or LaRoche, which, I mean, he probably signed for like 2 years. Or, I mean, who else was bad?
Navarro. Jaime Navarro was pretty bad, but there wasn't that many bad signings.
I mean, they don't
it wasn't like they signed a big deal and then that flopped necessarily. That's why the Adam Dunn one is very glaring.
And that's why when you look at the Albert Bell one, when they set the market,
Baby.
you know, even though it wasn't that big at the time, like, you know, in the grand scheme, that man performed. It's almost like you pay major leaguers money. It's, you know, I don't know, they play like major leaguers. We're again going back to my conversation with Jim. He doesn't understand how they can contend, and we'll take a break here. But if you think that your plan is to contend in 2025, shouldn't they be as aggressive as possible in 2024 to get there?
Yes.
Because the Rangers lost 101 games. They spent over $500 million in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and we're bad all 2022 for the most part.
They lost 94 games.
Yeah.
And guess what they did after that? Spent $225 million. So that's a grand total of $775 million. And I'm not saying go spend $775 million or $500 million in this current offseason.
Go ahead and do it, though.
There's not
any Simeons or Seagers out there, except for one of them.
But you look at what the Mets did last year, you know what their 5th highest contract was?
The center fielder. I can't think of his name.
Kota Sengai.
Oh, man.
Pretty good, right?
Awesome.
Starting pitcher.
Awesome pick.
You know, nasty fork ball.
Ghost was a ghost fork ball?
Yeah, fork ball.
Filthy.
How much did he make?
What, $75 million?
Yeah, 5 years, $75 million. They signed him the same fucking contract. That was their 5th guy. That was the 5th guy that like total salary that they signed. The White Sox signed Andrew Benintendi. And then Clevenger. They signed 2 people, and one of them sucked just completely at baseball. The other one, it's not his report card, so I don't actually have to talk to him about him.
He was all right, but didn't play enough.
He didn't play enough, and you also had the thing after the contract was signed. Why don't you jump into Hero Bread and talk about some of our ads? Again, we're going to keep these very professional. We won't be witty at all. Witty is very off-putting.
Ad?
Yeah. Okay. So no wit here. Let us know about the great, fantastic Hero Bread.
All right. I started using Hero Bread and eating it because I don't know if you guys know about this. I have type 2 diabetes, and I didn't want to give up my favorite things like sandwiches and quesadillas and wraps. So Hero Bread has been great for me. I'm sure you'll agree when you try it. Need a low-carb option for your lifestyle or dietary constraints? Founder Cole Glass baked 100 muffins per day before he found the perfect blend that fits his allergy constraints. That's what pushed him to start Hero Bread. The texture and taste is so delicious. Like, you would think something that has low net carbs would be grainy, not good, tastes off. No, absolutely not. I've tried the flour tortillas. Tastes exactly like flour tortillas are supposed to take. But they have high fiber and ultra-low net carbs, and 0 grams of sugar per slice. Hero makes sliced breads, buns, and tortillas that are available at hero.co and at Amazon. Right now, Hero Bread is offering CHGO fam 10% off their first order. And I can attest this because my fiance, Courtney, bought 4 packages of the Hero Bread flour tortillas. Just came in the mail yesterday. Ate one myself. Just go to hero.co and use our code CHGO to save on Hero Bread today. That's HERO.co to save 10% off today.
Today.
And
I've tried it. It's fantastic. I don't have type 2 diabetes, but it is just
good for everybody.
Right, and it's I don't want to say low carb, right?
It's low net carbs.
Low net carb. It's like 0 to 2 carbs. Go try it out.
The delicious fiber too to help everything get moving.
We also want to let you know. I don't know if betting gets your fiber moving.
Oh,
does
all
it?
the time.
It doesn't. Okay.
Because I'm so bad at it.
What?
I still do it.
We want to let you know about our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. They are brand new to the Chicagoland area, so make sure you are, I guess, to the state of Illinois. It's not really just the Chicagoland area. But they have a new location up in Waukegan at the temporary if you do go on to visit the physical location, but you do have the world's largest sports book at your fingertips now, so go download it at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today, and there are currently live odds that we can check in on. Game 7 of the NLCS, Phillies are -160 to win outright. Diamondbacks are +146 to win outright. Rangers are currently the favorite to win the World Series at -120. So if you do like an NL team to advance out of the World Series, maybe now's the right time to bet them. Bears line for this weekend is currently +8.5 against the Chargers on the road.
It's a home game.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of Bears fans there.
Oh, it's a home game because it's in
LA.
And okay.
There's no Chargers fans.
I like that line, too. And also the Blackhawks play tonight. +208 on the money line versus the Bruins over-under of 6. Puck line is at +1.5 at -128. So if the Hawks can at least stay within a goal of the Bruins, you can check that out. And hey, if you think something crazy is going to happen with Connor Bedard in his rookie year, they're 50-1 to win the Stanley Cup. So go check out all of those odds and download the app today at circasports.com/Illinois-app. They are always going to try to have the best line possible for you. That line of -160 for the Phillies tonight is the best for you as a bettor. To place money on that team to win outright. Same with the Diamondbacks, too, at +146. So either way, you are betting, whether it be the Phillies or Diamondbacks, their low hold model will always help you the better. So again, you can download Circa Sports Illinois today at circasports.com/Illinois-app. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, text GMB 833-234, or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
The thing is, I'm bad at betting because I went 0-2. Somebody told me on Twitter I went 0-2 and was pretty mad at me that CHGO always predicts these things and thinks they know everything. I was like, dude, you're coming a little hard. So I always get it wrong, fade Herb.
I like to be right. I never said I am right.
No.
If I was right, I wouldn't be here because I'd be winning more money.
I'm going to say bet the D-backs to win tonight. That's what I'm going to do.
Really?
I am.
Why?
Because it's plus money.
Okay. I mean, hey, especially for a Game 7, I mean, you look at what the lines were for that Rangers-Astros game, and we were off because I thought Scherzer was going to be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
Javier, that was worse. But it was like -130 for the Astros. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could just see you make $30 less, or I don't know how that math ever works out, but 30 less cents. I don't know.
Depends on how much you're betting.
Just on the actual, NL AL matchup. And the Astros and Rangers were more evenly matched, but whatever. Everyone that I heard has said Phillies are winning tonight. So the first person that has said the Diamondbacks are winning. I don't know how that does for you.
Yeah, I'm more of a Phillies fan, but I do have a Diamondbacks hat, so it works either way for me. I'm good for it. But
it works for us because we have PHLY and PHNX.
Yeah, and I see a plus money opportunity on a game that's pretty much a toss-up. Was it Fott versus Suarez? All right, let's go. Let's battle. Both have been saviors of their teams, where I looked at Brandon Fott and like, ugh, no. Pretty solid in this playoffs. Same thing with Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is the first time that he's seen. Like, that was the first time he saw Philly.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna strike out 9 again?
No, and it was in Arizona, so it's going to be tough. But I'll put my money behind the D-backs tonight. And it's kind of like a hedge, emotional hedge.
Yeah.
If I win, baby, money, and the D-backs go to the World Series. If I lose, all right, fine. Phillies go to the World Series. I'm fine with losing money there. A $10 bet, $20 bet, maybe.
I've been a horrendous gambler, so just don't listen to me. I mean, listen to me and download Circa, but you don't have to. It's your own money. Pick your own things. So one thing with the Rangers, we saw them jump out to a quick lead against Christian Javier. I now can't find the thread, but there was a thread that they were talking about where they just noticed they were swinging under like elevated fastballs. So their trick was to like literally swing like 2 balls ahead. So like if they thought the ball was going to be here, like they were just kind of doing it the eye that they would have to swing like at a ball actually up here to hit it. And that's like where you see, you know, that elevated fastball that Seager hit at like 113. He's just changing his swing path and taking it out. I really loved what the Rangers did, Chris Young did in building that team. Not that I actually like know who their hitting guys are, but like it just does seem like Bruce Bochy is giving them all the confidence in the world. It seems like that coaching tip clearly led to more runs, right? Like it just seems like each and every single facet of the Rangers right now are feeding one another. The owner spending money is feeding the general manager. There's a great quote from The Athletic where it said, he said, if you think you got a good team, keep adding. Dayton Moore, who's a senior advisor to Chris Young, said he keeps the throttle down. So I guess what I'm trying to take from this is like, if you do think that this is a good team, and speed is of the essence to Jerry Reinsdorf, and he thinks that Chris Getz is the actual guy, there can't be any expense spared. So whether it's a $700 million price tag, whether it's a $250 million price tag, whether it's 10 players that are getting paid like $10 million each or whatever, like there should not be a single expense spared in this White Sox rebuild if you do want to have the success of the Diamondbacks, the Orioles, and the Rangers. And the one thing that we haven't heard about, Josh Barfield mentioned, you know, he wants a little bit more of a focus on defense, wants guys to grind out at bats more. I got some stats on that a little bit later. But it just comes down to the guy that makes everything go. And it's not Tim Anderson who's stirring the drink. It's not Andrew Benintendi playing horrible defense in left field and will be for the next 4 years. It's not Andrew Vaughn's 5'5" ass playing first base. It's not Yasmani Grandal with his butterfly stance behind behind the plate. It's not them trading every single one of their starting pitchers at the trade deadline. It is Jerry Reinsdorf spending money. And I understand that I've said that before. Guess what? I'm going to say it again. Baltimore Orioles paid all that money for fucking construction. I mean, they paid all the money to pick up every single one of the people that the Astros and, you know, the owner, how he didn't like what was the guy fired? James Click, right? So he didn't like all the analytics people. He got Dana Brown in, longtime baseball guy. They got rid of all those analytics people. Yeah, that's what the Orioles spend their money on. They just got all those guys, right? They just picked up people from a winning organization.
Yeah.
Like, if there is a ton of holes in the front office, if there is a ton of holes at the major league level player-wise, at the major league level player-wise, there should not be a single expense spared. Maybe you don't get a Bryce Harper this offseason because there isn't one available, but I mean, for the love of God.
There's a Shohei available, but I got it. And they already said he wasn't going to go there.
That's a different discussion.
Yeah, he wasn't going to go there. But yeah,
but also why?
Because he's a dumb owner. He's one of the worst owners in the history of baseball.
It's almost, you know, if he could only think back to a time when he was an owner and had the greatest athlete of a sport on his team and knew the media frenzy that is around not only a major player like that, but an international superstar.
Yep.
You'd think he'd see all of the what's it called, dollar signs around Shohei Ohtani's head.
Yeah.
And that there'd be value in signing him.
Yeah, he doesn't
But
think
you
of
know,
those.
that's deaf ears.
He doesn't think that way of, I spend money, I make money. You think the Texas Rangers owner is regretting his decision to sign and spend? And I know people put the totality of the contracts, but literally he's only paying these guys $30 million, $25 million this year. So it's not
I don't think they're
all $500 million this year that they got to throw at these guys.
I don't think their payroll's over $200 million.
Yeah, exactly. But like they're playing guys like Travis Jankowski, who's a career journeyman, and he's giving
Mitch
them
Garver is batting third.
He's giving them great effort. I mean, Leotis Tavares comes up as a young player and is finally doing the things that they've wanted him to do. But Jerry doesn't understand, like, you spend money so those places where you don't have people at shortstop and second base, you go and get superstars. And then they elevate the rest of the team because they're just so damn good. And then everybody else is like, man, I wish I was getting tips from Cody, or I wish I was looking like what Marcus Semien is. Because I remember when Marcus Semien left the White Sox, I was like, good luck, A's. A man can't play defense at all. He can hit a little bit, but he's not good at all. That man has turned into a champion of a player. And that's because White Sox scouting and White Sox development was bad for him. He was drafted, scouted, and developed by the White Sox. And when he left the White Sox, he was no great shake. Same thing with Chris Bassett in that same trade. And he came back to be a great player for both Oakland, or all three, Oakland, Toronto, and now Texas. See, I would see the White Sox having the second base and right field positions open, and maybe even catcher, and saying, that's where I'll strike, and then maybe getting one great starting pitcher. If you're not going to spend all the money, spend a great deal amount of that money on a big-time player. I don't know who that big-time player would be. There's a lot of pitchers out there, but if you're just going to go through the motions this year and just sign a bunch of also-rans, that's what your examples are going to be next year. You're going to have a bunch of also-rans and also-ran stats with also-ran achievements, and you're going to be in the same position next year. You're like, oh, we can improve to 71 and 91 instead of 61 and 101. Great. You improved 10 games on a bad team, but did you get better? Did the actual team get better? And I don't think it will get better if the White Sox do White Sox things this year. The reason Chris Getz got signed, because he likes and knows baseball the way Jerry likes and knows baseball. I would take advantage of being a first-year guy, knowing that Jerry takes a long time to fire somebody, and ask Jerry for the moon. What do you have to lose? All he's going to say is no. Ask him, hey, can I sign this guy at the top of the market? This will solve X, Y, and Z. You see the Texas Rangers did this, and now you see them winning the World Series or in the World Series. You see the Philadelphia Phillies signing a bunch of players who are free agents, and now you see them in the World Series, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ask them where the Rays are at. They don't spend money. Yeah, they make the playoffs every year. It's like we're going to be the team that spends a lot of money on players or the team that develops and has a big-ass staff like the Rays. We're neither right now. So I would, if I was Chris Getz, I'd be like, let's pick a lane. If we're going to do this, we're either that analytics team that doesn't spend a lot of money, or we're that team that spends a lot of money and, shoos the analytics away. Ideally, you would be both, but, Jerry Reinsdorf. So that's what I would go in if I was Chris Getz. What do you have to lose? He's not gonna eat his own words and say, you're fired, Chris Getz. You got this job for at least 5 years, minimum. As long as Jerry's alive, you probably got this job next 5 years.
I mean, it's going to be like Sisyphus pushing that fucking boulder up a hill. Like, can I get more money? No. 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 Can I get more money? No.
It only takes one, though. Only takes one.
And that's how you get Andrew Benintendi.
If you ask for all that money and you finally get Andrew Benintendi, you deserve to get fired. And that's why Rick Hahn and Kenny Wares are where they at.
So let me just run down these names and just stop me if one truly makes you salivate.
Okay.
Aaron Nola.
Yes.
Blake Snell.
Yes.
Cody Bellinger.
Yes.
Rhys Hoskins.
No.
Eduardo Rodriguez.
No. I mean, don't take my nose as I won't want them. They just don't make me salivate. I'm making sure people know.
I'm just trying to, like,
go ahead.
If the White Sox went out and signed,
yes, those guys you
all
said at the
four
beginning.
of those guys,
Smash
you wouldn't have any
pass.
complaints.
Oh, my God.
Right? We're not against adding major leaguers. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that there is a Seager and or a Simeon out there. Right?
Bellinger, who I think is of that ilk.
Bellinger plays first base, basically.
Yeah. And
So-
I would, and Andrew Benintendi or Andrew Vaughn, I would have to say goodbye to you.
That's fine. But also, I think that, I mean, again.
Or put him in
this is
right
me-
field.
This is me talking. Yeah.
Or put him in right field.
Put him in right field. I'd be fine with Bellinger.
Yes.
Bellinger and Sonny Gray?
Yeah.
I love that.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
That
Like,
would be
it was
the
just
best signing period of all time in White Sox history for people who are not at the top of the market, but are close to it. Bellinger's probably the top of the market offensive player, if you're not counting Shohei.
Well, but and then he's only offensive this year, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is the actual budget? We don't have that answer, and I don't think we're going to know that until all the dust is settled. And it really does seem just thin of a market, and that's why I'm just concerned, because the White Sox have a first-year general manager who's never done this and then has to go ask Jerry Reinsdorf for money every single time.
And then the hard part, actually negotiate with these people.
Right.
I hope Jeremy Haber has his negotiating chops together.
His hard hat on.
Yeah, because this man has never done it. Chris Getz. It's going to be a tough go, friends.
I got more questions for Herb after the break. Want to let you know, though, about Fubo TV. They have 140 live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. You can stream live TV from any device and watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price. Best part, you can start watching immediately with a free trial, and there's no contract, no cable, no hassle. You can just sign up and start watching immediately. And there's over 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. So if you're trying to tape, Golden Bachelor, trying to tape, all the World Series games coming up, maybe you're trying to tape some football because you're going to be out of the house or something, I don't know. You can with 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge with Fubo TV. And you can watch local streams while traveling. It is the best deal out there. I love Fubo TV. Watch all your favorite college football and NFL with Fubo. Go to www.FuboTV.com/CHGO. That's FuboTV.com/CHGO to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. I've tried a lot of the streaming services, the live TV services. Fubo, extremely consistent. No drops ever. The record thing is always on lock. Like, never missing out on any of my shows. It's a great deal if you're looking for a streaming service.
Indeed, I agree. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? If you are, then we have some great news for you. Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fox Lake have joined the CHGO team. And at Ray CDJR, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and find unforgettable savings. And right now, during Ram Power Days at Ray CDJR, only in Fox Lake, you'll be able to secure 0% financing or 17% off new Ram models. But that's not all. Now through October 31st, explore their newly renovated showroom and take advantage of their limited time 7-year anniversary savings. So, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out our team at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, because they are the only team we recommend. Visit them today at Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com today. Serving the community since 1963.
Also want to let you know about our friends over at FOCO. We have been able to deck out our set back here. There's a nice little Southpaw one. There's a nice little TA one as well back here that were donated by FOCO, helping us deck out our set decorations. Go show them some love at FOCO.com. That's FOCO.com, or click the description below. They got hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. You get fitted in the best sports gear around, whether you're trying to deck out your man cave, whether you're trying to deck out your closet, maybe even your car. I think they got some like steering wheel covers. We probably got not cup hold covers. Maybe they got like cup holder liners. Probably got like a couple
Koozies.
keychains.
Yeah.
They got everything over at FOCO. So go check them out, FOCO.com. Click the link in the description below. And again, for all non-preset items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off, like the Andrew Benintendi Arkansas bobblehead. That's a non-preset item, so you can go get that for 10% off over at FOCO.com. And finally, want to let you know about our friends over at Goose Island. Herb, do you like beer?
I love it.
Oh, look at you. Drinking a 312. That's the 312 Wheat Ale. They got the Beer Hug family. They got the Full Pocket Pills, which I saw is back in the fridge. They got the Oktoberfest as well, as we're coming up 7 days away from Halloween, folks. Go support Chicago's beer. Go support Chicago's beer, Goose Island Beer Company. CHGO is supported by Goose Island Beer Company, and they've been Chicago's beer since 1988. We got a tailgate with Goose coming up with all-you-can-drink Goose Island, along with some all-you-can-eat firewater barbecue. Go check that out on November 9th. Tickets are at allchgo.com/events. Grab an ultra-fresh brewery-exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown when it's not a CHGO tailgate today, or go after the game. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. Okay. So, got a couple questions for you, Herb. First off, I asked this one to Jim. Jim and I had a lot of back and forth today about the White Sox.
Jim's a good sounding board.
He is. And I should have asked you this yesterday when we were talking about Tim Anderson. Who do you think needs more of a change of scenery? Tim Anderson or Eloy Jimenez?
Eloy Jimenez.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Jim said the same thing.
Yeah.
I had the same reaction.
Because there's still, I know there's a vocal White Sox fan base that wants to see Tim gone because this year was just horrid. But Tim has given the White Sox more fun than he has given them pain. Eloy has just been potential his whole career. None of this has been Eloy hitting the ceiling. All of this has been middling Eloy. Man, if he would have stayed healthy, he stayed healthy this year, and he wasn't that great. And so I think, yes, once Eloy leaves the White Sox and gets some tutelage from somebody else, a la Marcus Semien, et cetera, he'll explode. He'll be the player that we've wanted him to be. Now, we need somebody else coming back from the other side. That's why I wanted to do the whole trade last year with Kelenic and Jesse Winker coming to the White Sox and them as the Seattle Mariners getting Eloy. Didn't work out that way. Winker didn't have a good year, and Kelenic hit a water cooler because he's an idiot. But I think Eloy would be a better trade candidate for that because his market is still not at the top of his market, but it's still not tanked by a horrible year like Tim's was. And I think that Eloy will actually thrive somewhere else. Now, I know Tim will thrive somewhere else, but it's his walk year too, so that could be conflated with that. So he would be good in 2024 no matter what, I think. But I don't know if that's because he's on a different team or that's because he's on a contract year.
I think Tim needs more of a change of scenery. I think that's a guy that is a professional, knows what to do to have success in the league. He just needs the health and a clear mind to do that, and I think leaving Chicago could possibly help him clear his mind. There was a lot of pressure with him after 2021 to be the guy, and I don't know what 2 difficult years like 2022 and 2023 have done to his, charisma, character, his ego, that swagger. But if Josh Barfield is mentioning swing decisions being so important to the White Sox, wouldn't the person that would benefit the most from swing decision, I mean, Luis Robert, because he's the best athlete on the team, but isn't the person that would benefit the most from swing decisions Eloy Jimenez? The guy with the 54% ground ball rate? Like the guy that is swinging at everything and is consistently flailing outside of the zone? Like if Eloy, who we've seen has great, contact skills along with power, is able to elevate the ball and, hit the ball in the air more, I don't know. I think he just needs more coaching.
Yeah,
I think he needs like some of that Rangers help, like where they actually have a guy that's like, oh hey, you guys should swing up at the ball more. And look at that, they won a game.
And also, I think that the White Sox keep on telling Eloy, and maybe he thinks in his head, hey, you're just a good hitter. And have we seen the good hitter? Like, I would rather him be Kyle Schwarber, more selling out for power and hitting the ball in the air and have a low batting average. well, while still maintaining a decent eye, than what he is now. He's just a flailing player that's not doing anything. And when he does get contact with the ball, like you said, 54% ground ball rate, that's unsustainable for anybody, especially a guy that's supposed to be hitting the ball over the fence. So, yeah, I would think that somebody on a different organization is going to say, bump all the stuff that you learned from the White Sox. You are powerful. You don't need the hard swinging to hit the ball over the fence. Just this relaxed swing and have somebody with insight like Kevin Long. If he goes to the Phillies, goddamn, man, that would be beautiful. I would take one of those players that got playing right now in the Phillies where Eloy Jimenez coming back. Give us Kyle Schwarber, straight trade, please.
Why?
Why?
Why would they say yes?
Younger, doesn't cost as much, can hit home runs in that park and in that league. I don't know why they would say yes, but, just give me somebody. They need to trade somebody to get somebody, but I'm just thinking about how Kevin Long and the Phillies have fixed a lot of people's swings and sold out for power, because Kyle Schwarber wasn't this player as the Cub. He was more of I'm trying to get on base. I was trying to hit home runs occasionally.
They fixed Schwarber.
Yes.
He's good.
And so
Eloy sucks.
And so he's making $20 million, and they sum those.
Is it Eloy making?
I understand. No, he's not making that much. But I can see them saying, hey, he's making $20 million and he's 31. Eloy's 27, 28, and he's making less than that. Let's get him in here. Just recycle Kyle Schwarber and get a good bat. Yes, you would have to send more for Kyle Schwarber.
I know you're not. I know you're not actually thinking that this is a thing.
But not one for one, no.
$20 million for Schwarber next year, $20 million in 2025, unrestricted free agent in 2026. Eloy will be an unrestricted free agent in 2027. There's 2 club options after this year, but he's making $13 million, 16.5, and 18.5.
No money. He's making absolutely no money.
What?
And the potential has not been tapped into yet. And how old is he?
He's making more money than he's making. Schwarber's making
total,
$40
yes,
million,
but not per year.
It's like you're not an accountant.
Yes, I am.
In 2025, he'll be making $3.5 million less. That's a drop in the bucket for John Middleton and the Phillies.
I'm just saying, somebody was going to fix his swing. I wasn't doing it as a serious, hey, 1-for-1, give me Schwarber. I would love to have Schwarber. But Beefloaf makes a good point. Yes, he should have traded him last year when he was at the top of his game.
I think he's saying that he's
still good.
He's saying keep Eloy.
I don't. What are you saying, Beef? You say keep Eloy?
I would say he's saying keep Eloy.
I say trade him.
But again, 2021, 55 games, 99 OPS plus, and was hurt. Do we have to leave? Oh, well.
Sorry
for
those
this
guys
very
got 3 today,
frazzled
too.
Show. What I was trying to get to, though, it's all about swing differences for the Sox. Yeah, that's about it. I don't even know how to say all this within 2 minutes. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ekronwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Thank you to Sarah for producing us. I do feel like this was a frazzled episode. My apologies to that. But one thing was clear. Andrew Benintendi sucked this year.
He was terrible.
Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.